Reprint.
This isn't breaking headlines. This is a second look with context added for perspective.
This is Reprint, edited after the headlines.
All right, happy Monday. Happy Monday and good morning to the West Coast. Good afternoon, of course, to the East Coast. This is the Reprint brought to you by Lennox and Parker. I am Crystal Jordan, editor-in-chief for Lennox and Parker, along with
Victor Flavius, publisher.
Victor Flavius.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Victor? How is it out there in LA today?
It is getting warmer. It is getting hotter. What is going on with the live? It's good. I mean, it's hot.
It's hot.
Warming up. It's supposed to be 85 today. Yeah.
Well,
how
that's
things
not
with
what's
you?
happening here. We're in the midst of some type of I don't know, it's a thunderstorm. Well, we were told it was a severe storm warning. So there were the possibilities of tornadoes.
Okay.
I know we just got rain. There was hail coming
Okay.
down in different parts of Atlanta. And then I know the East Coast is under extreme
Mm.
winter storm. My son, who was in Michigan, said it has snowed 36 hours straight, and
Ooh.
he is unable to get out of
Yeah.
his door. His door, he's snowed in. He's literally
Yeah,
snowed in.
we're not doing that. We're not doing. It's 80 degrees over here. It was hot. Yeah, I'm gonna probably go for a walk when we get done today and just try to get outdoors for a quick second. Got to do it.
Yeah,
Got to do it.
yeah. Well,
I'm an outdoors person. I can't
we
indoors.
can tell you talk about going on a walk every day. So you are
You know,
definitely an outdoors person.
listen. I lived in Boston for many years, and we only had so much good weather that so we took
Yeah,
advantage of it, and you get this itch like I'm ready to go outside, and then it
yeah.
snows again, and you're like, oh my goodness, and then it snows again, and it snows again, and when you look up, it's May, and you're like, what? And it's like raining. Now it's raining and it's cold. So now and then June comes around. You're like, finally, summer's here. And then September comes, Labor Day, and the sun sets, and it's 50 degrees
And
outside, and
it's
you're like, oh my
starts snow
goodness.
again. Yeah,
Well,
cold
not snow,
again.
but it gets cold again, rainy season again. It rains between September and, well, no, October and December is like rainy-ish season, cold. And then it's winter
Hmm.
from like January to like March, April. And
Oh, okay,
then it
okay.
rains again from March, April to June. And then you get like 2 months of like nice weather. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
the
see, from
quality of life
Ohio,
is, yeah.
it would start this cold weather would start like in September. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I do think also that weather is changing, period. I think a lot of
Oh, yeah.
places are experiencing different types of weather than they ever have
Yeah.
before. So,
That's true. That's true. I believe
yeah,
that.
I think that is definitely changing all around. But I had a good weekend. We celebrated my godfather's 84th birthday.
Oh, blessings.
Um,
Blessings.
it was great. We had cake, we barbecued, and he had cake with a little bit of Hennessy, you know?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Hey,
cake
listen,
with a little.
84. Listen, we all strive to get to 84. I know people are like, oh, I don't want to be old. You know what? I want to get to 84. I want to get to 100.
Mhm. Yeah, well, I'm just thankful that we have him. I took
Yes.
him to see the horses, and he had a good time. And then Saturday, I actually went to an amazing
Hmm.
event with my bestie. We went to Brown Sugar Babe hosted a friendship and fragrance
Oh,
event,
sounds
and it
nice.
was I should have brought some clips. I didn't think about that. I should have brought some clips, but it was
I'm
a
sure
really
Wednesday.
it was just it was a beautiful event. Yeah, it was a beautiful event, and yeah, I'll bring them Wednesday, and
Yeah.
they just celebrating friendship, and I think that was really cool to celebrate friendship, and of course, fragrance. They launched four new fragrances, celebrating
Hmm.
friendship, and just women. Great timing to do it because we're still in National Women's History Month, so it was just a beautiful, beautiful event. You had women of color just all in pajamas and flowy
Oh, that sounds
lingerie
nice.
and celebrating friendship and each other. And then Tank came out and serenaded the ladies. So it was a good night.
Wait,
It was
wait.
a good.
Like Tank himself? Tank?
Yeah, Tank came out
Oh,
and serenaded the ladies, and
wow.
yeah, it was a good. It
That's
was good.
crazy. Tank.
It
Oh
was
my
good. Yep.
goodness.
Yeah, he
Tank
came
came
out
out.
and
Wow. Okay.
yeah, he was surprised to see women in their pajamas. You know, they were it's just um, but it was a good it was good. They just did a beautiful job. The brand we're fans of Brown Sugar Baby.
Yeah.
So look forward to we'll sharing a little bit more about that. But I think I love the fact that they focused on sisterhood and women's friendships for National
Hmm.
Women's History Month. Um, that was, I think, a great way to celebrate womanhood because a lot of times we celebrate women's accomplishments, and that's great. But I also think that friendship is really
Yeah.
important.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's always important.
yeah.
Yeah. I like that. It
So
probably was smelling really good with it too, huh? A lot of
oh yeah,
fragrances.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's I definitely
Yeah.
recommend it's oils and they smell so good. Such a
Mm.
just beautifully luxurious type scents, you know. So
Yeah.
that was good. And then of course we know last night was the Oscars. Did you watch the Oscars at all?
No, I did not get a chance to watch the Oscars. I should have watched it, but I didn't watch it. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
I don't think
I
anybody
didn't.
watches anymore.
Didn't
I think
get.
people watch the
Didn't
clips.
get a. It's hard to tell what network is gonna be on. They don't promote or advertise, and it's just like, to me it's difficult. Like I don't even know where to even begin.
Yeah,
Where I mean I would have to like know about it like before in the daytime, and then just
yeah,
probably like turn it on early and sit there and watch it. But when you have a lot going on, we have to prepare for the show and all this other stuff, family, and it's like Oscars,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and I think that I don't think we're the only ones dealing with that. I'm going to be honest. I did not know what network it was on. I because when growing up we knew okay, the Oscars are going to be on this channel all the time. Like
There was only one,
and you
yeah.
saw the
Hmm.
commercials, you paid attention to it. But now people aren't watching cable television. We're not even watching public television like that.
No, we're not.
We're watching streaming and we're on our phones and we're on our computers and even our televisions are set up to stream. So it's not like you get those reminders of because I remember growing up,
Yeah.
you would see the Oscars this Sunday,
Hmm.
over and over and over, probably for that month or at least for 2 weeks. So I think where people and I also think people don't want to sit through the whole show. A lot of times they just want to watch
Yeah.
there's the segment they're locked into. But I did see, of course, the clips, and I was so happy. I think our entire community was excited to see Michael B. Jordan win for Best Actor. Like we know that Sinners swept the Golden Globes. They have had a record-breaking year. They were nominated for more Oscars than I think any. I think there was what was the record? They got more nominations on that film. They broke a record with how many nominations they got. But for him to actually win,
It's
um,
12 noon on the East Coast.
absolutely amazing.
Oh, sorry.
And we're probably
I don't know
trying
why
to.
that did that. It's
I'm sure
glitching.
you're trying to
Okay,
pull
sorry
up
about that.
that. Probably trying
Yeah,
to
I'm
pull
trying to
up the
pull up the
Michael B.
clip for
Jordan.
the
Yes, yes,
one
yes,
second.
yes.
Sorry
All
about
good. And
that.
hello to Pont City
That was
Market there in
weird.
Atlanta. Hello to Pont City Market there. But yeah, just
I know, right?
seeing the hard work that he's put in, and that was. I mean, I felt so proud. I don't know him personally, but I appreciate his example, and I felt so proud of him.
What's that playing? Hold on.
The Oscar goes to
Oh, there we are.
There we go.
Michael B. Jordan.
His mom. Wow.
I think I'm making a little more.
This is the first Oscar win and nomination for Michael B. Jordan.
Wow. I'm gonna let it play.
Man, God is good. God is good. And yeah, Mama, what's up? Y'all know how I feel about my mother and my father's here. Your pops, where you at? My dad came in from Ghana. He flew in from Ghana to be here. My brother, my sister's here. My family. I want to thank Warner Brothers. I want to thank Mike and Pam for believing in this dream, this vision of Ryan Coogler, and betting on a culture and betting on original ideas and original artistry. And you're an amazing, amazing person. I'm so honored to call you a collaborator and a friend. And you gave me the opportunity and space for me to be seen. And I love you too, bro. Love you to death. I would like to thank my incredible cast. Wunmi, thank you so much for giving Smoke opportunity to be him. Haley at home, she's getting ready to have a baby right now. Thank you so much for being the other half of Stack. Miles, Delroy, Jamie, everybody, Lily, Omar, the entire cast. I thank you guys for supporting me through this. My team, Phil Sun, Greg Slewitt, Lindsey Gallon. Man, y'all. I stand here because of the people that came before me. Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith, and to be amongst those giants, amongst those greats, amongst my ancestors, amongst my guys. Thank you, everybody in this room and everybody at home for supporting me over my career. I feel it. I know you guys want me to do well, and I want to do that because you guys bet on me. So thank you for keep betting on me. And I'm gonna keep stepping up, and I'm gonna keep being the best version of myself I could be. So I just want to say thank you for everybody in this room that had something to do with my success. I love you guys, and everybody at home who supported Sinners, who went to go see the movie once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. Thank you, because you guys made this movie what it is. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Wow, that was nice. That was nice. That was really sweet. Wow, his dad came from Ghana to see him. Wow, that was good.
I did not know.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. I was looking at when I saw that last night. I was looking at some of like his biggest. He's had some huge movies, and he's had some unforgettable roles. And
Yeah.
I did not know that his dad was in Ghana. I don't know if his dad is from Ghana, but that's interesting because of him playing Killmonger. With Wakanda, that connection is it seems like it was even more authentic than we realized. It's good to see good people, get rewarded in an industry that often doesn't see Black creative, specifically, at this point. This is he's still very. He's been in this business for a long time, but as far as the roles that he's been doing, young to be able to have this level of success, and so we just wanted that just felt good. Congratulations to him and his family. I love seeing his mom there. We know how as parents it feels when our babies succeed. So I just and then even the relationship between him and Ryan Coogler. It does hold the record. That film, like I was saying before, does hold the record as the most Oscar nominated film of all time. With 16 nominations, it did finish the night with 4 wins, including the best history-making best cinematography trophy and best actor, best lead actor for Michael B. Jordan. Jordan, this is his first Oscar, as we just saw there. He played twin brothers Smoke and Stack in the movie, becoming the first performer in Academy history to win for playing dual roles in the same film, and only the 6th Black actor to ever win Black actor.
Isn't that crazy?
He topped the stars. That is, and I think it was beautiful that he named those other actors that had won Best Actor in a film, and Denzel, Will Smith, Holly Berry, Sidney Poitier,
Yeah.
and was it Lawrence Fishburne? Was it
Will Smith.
no, I said Will Smith. There's another one,
Oh,
the Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Forrest Whitaker. But I thought that was beautiful for him to acknowledge them, and definitely painted a picture of himself amongst those legendary names, which was great. Ryan Coogler also made history last night by becoming the second Black filmmaker ever to win the Best Original Screenplay, with Jordan Peele being the first for Get Out. Isn't that amazing?
Uh,
And I
um,
saw a post, yeah, with him and Jordan Peele.
Also,
You know,
Autumn. We have to mention Autumn, who won for first Black woman and first Black person to win Best Cinematography in the Academy nearly 100-year history. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it was just a beautiful, a beautiful, a beautiful night, and I think definitely for Women's History Month, as you mentioned, Autumn
yeah,
Durald, is it Akapau?
yeah,
One of the most, he became the first Black person to win Best Cinematography in over 100 years.
yeah.
Also, Jessie Buckley swept every major award show this season, capping her win with Best Actress for Hamnet. That K-pop Demon Hunters had a big night as well.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
I haven't seen, I mean, I stopped, I have I don't have kids, so, I mean, I have kids, but
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
grown, so they're not into K-pop, but, I know I keep, you hear it, it's been trending. Conan O'Brien, the comedian, hosted it again, this year, and the good thing about Conan O'Brien, it didn't seem like there's no controversy, no
yeah.
controversy, with that, yeah, so that was a great thing. We see here some fashions. You guys know I'm always going to want to talk about the fashions for the evening, but to me, from the clips that I saw, I was more impressed with the Vanity Fair show. Obviously, Tiana Taylor killed it.
Yeah.
That dress actually has is that it like feathers and fur in the train.
I mean,
She looks stunning.
what is she, like 80 pounds? I mean, she's just like, she's
Yeah,
always so
yeah.
like well put together. Her diet must be so clean. I know it's genetics as well too, but she's always
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, she's
I don't
tiny.
know.
There you go. So you see
Yeah,
the full dress there. I thought that was beautiful. I mean,
yeah.
she's
She's all,
that's
yeah,
gorgeous.
elegant. Yeah,
Damson Idris he looks like I'm not sure if I like this or not. I wasn't
yeah,
sure, but it looks like he's an extra on Bridgerton, which I'm always down for.
yeah, yeah. He
Um,
seemed like that. Yeah,
yeah, it has like that gentleman's vibe. I'm not mad at that. And I know we don't have a clip of this, but I just gotta say, for anybody watching, you guys may want to go back and look at this. Like I said, I didn't see as many fashions this year that I love, but I do want to say there was some controversy about this second look here in the lavender. Hold on, because
which one? The girl?
hold on, I've got it in my phone here. Not the dress, but some of the commentary
Hmm.
about. I'm so sorry, guys. I should have had this pulled up. We got off to a rocky start this morning, but that's Chase Infinity, and Let's go back to that clip.
Oh, one
That
second,
clip of
one second. Go
before.
back. Her
Yeah,
right
right
there.
there. So yes, Chase Infinity here in the lavender with the ruffles down. The second photo.
Yeah.
So she has like braids
Mm,
in that photo, and there was some controversy because one of the E News reporters there called her hair undone, and
really?
if you got, those are just boho Nas braids,
Yeah.
and I and that was, she was in the film One Battle After Another, um, big year. Her name has been, it's been a lot of conversation, young actress. But the fact that her her look was said that her hair was like undone is crazy. And actually, I would just say for that look, it almost has kind of a mermaid feel to it. I feel like that hair looks beautiful. Of course, many Black women recognized her loose curl braid combination as boho knotless braids, and it was done by celebrity hairstylist Carrie Marino. But the commentator Zana Roberts Rossi described her hair as almost like undone. Her quote was, "Let's think about this awesome, almost like undone hair with the done dress. Actually, it's mirroring the ruffles on the dress, that beautiful hair." So
Why
I
even
think
why
sometimes,
even mention it?
well, I think she was mentioning it because it looks different. It probably looks different than what she was expecting. But I also don't like the fact. So I think, okay, well, maybe, she's saying that it looks beautiful. But then the second comment is what caused it to be a problem for me. She said, "I feel like she smells like patchouli oil or maybe weed."
Wow.
So, now we have a
What?
problem.
That is
Now, yeah,
that is wow.
yeah.
That is not that's why would you say that about a person's hair or even about the person? I don't understand why would yeah, that's disrespectful.
It just seems like whenever we're in a great, that's very disrespectful. And it also, to me, it feels culturally motivated. I'm not going to say racist, but it does feel culturally motivated. Like, why would you say that a Black woman's hair because it's in braids, and that style is very popular, right?
It
I
is,
mean,
yeah.
like I said, Haley Bailey wore, well, she had dreads, but she has, wore her hair like that many times, and it's like she, the Little Mermaid. So why would we? And I'm not. Those styles they're similar, but not. That's knotless braids. Haley has locks, but it's still like it's a style that. And why would you say that someone's hairstyle made you feel like they would
I
smell
mean,
like patchouli oil and weed?
honestly, if a person comes to an award show, first of all, you have to be invited. You have to go through the proper checks and all the stuff. She has money. If she was homeless or unhoused, it wouldn't matter. But why comment on a woman's hair? Leave it alone. Like, when a woman of non-color shows up and and her hair is, however it is, people don't comment about that. When a woman shows up with half nothing on, I mean, people don't. They comment, but it's like
Well, we
I'm
do.
saying.
They do. They
No,
do.
they
And I
do,
will
but
say,
I'm
to
saying
be
don't be
fair,
negative
they do
towards.
comment. They don't say, they will say they don't like it. They may say that it looks like it's not finished, but that's why I wasn't really upset with the undone. But when you said patchouli oil and weed,
Yeah, I don't
that's
know.
where we got a
Yeah,
problem.
I don't like that comment because I've seen people go to award shows in pajamas and people go to award shows all sorts of different ways with the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But the point is that you're making a statement, but we know this is controversial in our time with addressing people of color's hair. Like, why would you even touch that? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, why would
I
you do
agree.
that?
I agree. It was not,
Yeah,
it
that's
was, it was,
disrespectful.
I hope that they'll address that with her. E News needs to definitely, have her make a statement apologizing or something. Um, just really quickly, the key winners for last night. Obviously, Best Picture went to one battle after another. Have you seen that?
No, that's with Tiana Taylor and what's his name?
Yeah, and the young lady that the
Yeah,
that we just talked about, Chase
the whole
Infinity.
cast right there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
There's cast right there. Tiana Taylor. Tiana Taylor is having like
She's
the
having a
best.
moment.
She is having a movement. I believe she was Time Magazine's Woman of the Year. Like, this is amazing. I'm not, she's definitely having a year. She's having
No,
a
she's done a
year.
lot. Like she's been on every major award show this year, including Michael B. Jordan. So they're both at shows together, like trailing. She's won
Mhm.
awards and she's been on the red carpet. She's and to me, well deserved for Tiana Taylor and Michael B. Jordan because we've both seen
Yeah.
them grow up in their careers. We both see controversial things here and there with Tiana, not so much Michael,
Mhm.
but we've seen them grow into being who they are, and to see
Mhm.
the type of persons that they turn into on the screen it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And now there has been rumors that the two are dating. I hope that's not true. I just don't think that's a good fit. That's just my opinion. But I have heard that. I have heard
Oh,
that. But
really?
they're the big winners for the evening. He looks so happy. He's just
I
so
know, right?
happy. That is cute. But let's run through these winners. Best Picture, one battle after another. Best Director, Paul Thomas Anderson. Best Actor, Michael B. Jordan. Best Actress, Jessie Buckley. That was her in that
Hmm.
photo with Michael B. Jordan for Hamnet. Best Supporting Actor, Sean Penn. That's
Wow,
that that
that's
yeah, kudos to
wow.
him having a career research, a second or third or fourth win in his career. Best supporting actress, Amy Madigan for Weapons. Best cinematography, our girl Autumn Duran Arkapaw for Sinners. Best original screenplay was Sinners, Ryan Coogler. Best adapted screenplay, Paul Thomas Anderson. Best score, again, Sinners, Ludwig Göransson. Best original song went to Golden by K-pop Demon Hunters. So
Amazing.
great night.
Good job to all of the Oscar winners.
Yeah, I think you had a cute clip of Michael B. Jordan, what he did after he received his Oscar, right?
Yes, I do. Let me pull that clip up 1 second.
Yeah,
Where is it?
we're
Yep,
just
here we
reveling
go.
in that positivity. He went In and Out Burger.
Yep.
That is so cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. He signed some autographs, and I thought that was really, really cool to see him. I wonder if it's the one by the airport. I don't know which one this is,
I
but
know, right?
it looks
I
like the
know.
one by the
That's the one.
airport.
It looks like that's so funny because every time I come to LA, whenever I come, I'm
Yeah.
like, Victor, I gotta stop at In and Out first.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm in good company, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Good for him.
Yeah, shout out to
Very,
Michael B.
very cool.
Jordan. Yeah, that's
Oh,
really, it shows his heart. Like he's for the people. He's not like, snobby. He's not like, you can see his mom is there, and his family is always with him. Ryan Coogler and his
hmm
wife is always there. It's like that's a good um, network to have, especially in Hollywood, where people are always talking about scandals and who's sleeping with whom and who's doing this and that, and it's like, your dating life is your dating life. I get there's always going to be some type of like scandal, or there's always going to be some type of controversy going on. But when it comes to your nucleus of who you are as a person, having your mom and your best friend and his wife and your brother and his sister and everyone's working towards greatness, great. I love to
Yeah,
see that.
yeah. I love to see it, especially with young
Yeah.
black men and women. So kudos again to them. But yeah, so we wanted to celebrate, kind of revel in that before moving on to the news.
Here we
We'll
go.
start slow. Let's start with Tyler Perry. And you know, this announcement that Paramount has actually bought out Tyler Perry and BET Plus, which means that they have acquired Tyler Perry's stake. And Paramount Skydance is now shutting down BET Plus as a standalone streaming service and folding it into its entire catalog. This will start in June of 2026. As part of the move, Paramount purchased Tyler Perry Studios' 25% minority stake in BET Plus. This is the stake that Perry secured through a 2019 production deal that helped launch the platform. Financial details were not disclosed, but industry estimates the value of the buyout in the tens of millions of dollars. BET Plus currently has around 3.5 million subscribers, paying between $5.99 and $8.99, well, $9.99 a month. These subscribers will be offered a discounted Paramount Plus subscription as a part of the transition. Meanwhile, Paramount has 80 million subscribers, meaning BET Plus content will reach a dramatically larger global audience, which is how Paramount is framing the decision. Roughly 1,000 hours of BET Plus content and programming will move to Paramount Plus, including Tyler Perry series, All the Queen's Men, and Zatima, as well as the Miss Pat Show, and the critically acclaimed DR from Detroit. I wonder if Sisters is moving over as well. So let's talk about this and what this means. And I think people need to look at it from the perspective of there's good and bad, but what will this mean overall for urban programming in television? What are your thoughts? Just thinking about that. All right, Paramount is taking over, so there's no longer a BT Plus. And for those of us that grew up in this, in the 80s and 90s, you know that Black entertainment television was really, for a long time, the only place that we could see content, right? That was
Right.
ours. We had the Cosby Show and A Different World by chance. But for the most part, you would see music and Black culture, news even was on Black entertainment television. That kind of has moved into BET Plus, which allowed us to have programming, scripted series mostly, comedies and things like that, movies as well that represented our culture. And now with that going away, I'm a little concerned about what that will mean for opportunities, right? Because it's folding into a bigger platform that really is not focused on urban content at all. That's not a priority for Paramount Plus. However, those programs that do survive will be exposed to a much larger audience. Now, I don't know if that audience will support them, which is why it's a little worrisome to me, because say you take a show like DR from Detroit, you put it over on Paramount Plus, where it does have 80 million viewers that could potentially watch it. But I have never seen a time when rare instances like a Sinners or Black Panther, usually programs that are that host an urban cast or host a Black and minority cast are not welcomed or embraced by non-urban communities. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So I'm thinking it may be, the Miss Pat Show going over there. Like Paramount Plus main viewers is probably not going to connect to the Miss Pat Show. This is all me just
No.
speculating, but I think that's what is the bigger issue at the helm of this. Yes, some of these shows are going over right now, but how many of them will survive over there with that not being the priority for Paramount Plus?
Yeah, I think control is what we're talking about here. Tyler Perry had owned 25% of BT, and I think the time he bought BT, in my opinion, BT was already on the rocks. After
It was
shows
BT
like
Plus.
okay, so BT Plus, but BT itself kind of died, kind of
Yeah.
like right after 106 in Park, kind of like that era we saw MTV close its doors. I was able to go to the last BT Hip Hop Awards that they had. That was the last one here in LA, and I really see that when Tyler Perry came on board and he bought whatever portion of BT, it changed the trajectory of what we looked at for entertainment. And I don't think that BT represented us for a long time. Kind of like, not so much like Essence, but we've seen a lot of our Black-owned brands integrate into larger platforms or try to go too wide, too big, too soon, or even too big, period, and lose the essence of the value or the respect or the nutritional part of who we are as a people. And it's almost like right now we look at BT Plus has 3.5 million subscribers, and Paramount has 80 million subscribers. So to me, what's going to happen is it's going to be absorbed. It's going to be put on TV. We might see a show come on at midnight. Who's watching TV at midnight? I'm not too sure. But at the end of the day, I think it's a disservice because we don't have our own platform. Now, we have Revolt TV, which is the new BT. That's grown. We have All Black. There's a couple of different little small networks that are coming up. And usually that's what happens. when the bigger brands like Essence and BT and they get absorbed into the bigger brands, behind the scenes, we see the smaller ones come up. We see the growing brands come up. But I don't know. I think it's not good because Paramount's buying everything up, and I think BT now
Paramount,
has lost
I
soul.
think, yeah, I think it's I don't know, because part of me doesn't think that everything is not racially motivated. I think Paramount's buying everything, right?
Yeah, I'm not.
Paramount's
Yeah,
it's gonna be one streaming big streaming platform, but I also think that you lose those niche markets, so that content that would be surviving in a smaller platform will get swallowed up and become irrelevant, when it's a part of just this conglomerate, this huge conglomerate. uh I don't necessarily see Revolt as a option for that. I think Revolt has a lot of talk conversations on it.
yeah,
I also think, quite honestly, Revolt suffered a lot when its identity, you know, the person that had the most identity in Revolt
yeah.
is in prison. And we're talking about Sean Diddy Combs. And I've heard that he's supposed to come home soon, but I definitely think the damage with the reputation of Revolt is done.
I think they're
It
rebranding
just
too.
connected to him. They're trying to rebrand, but I know
Yeah,
it's difficult because he was such a big part of that. Um, I don't know.
but
I
but
think that. Go ahead.
no, sorry. I was gonna say that we saw that the Breakfast Club was brought
Hmm.
on to Netflix, and they lost a lot of viewers from moving from YouTube to
Hmm.
Netflix. So sometimes those moves aren't the best. It seems
Well, they
like
were
you get
actually
a
on
big deal.
BT. They were
Yeah,
actually on BT. That's a perfect example of what I think.
yeah,
What I was saying. I think when you move over, you lose that cultural connection, and
yeah.
it does the
Mm-hmm.
format doesn't fit. I feel like we saw that with Pop the Balloon, right? So Pop the Balloon
Mm-hmm.
was this
Yeah,
wildly popular show on YouTube that really had developed a cult following amongst African Americans, and it was doing so well that Netflix was like, "We want it." Netflix pulled it over,
mm-hmm.
replaced the original host with Yvonne Orji, who is a hilarious comedian, but Niger like very different than even though
Yeah,
she's another black woman, she's an African woman, and it was very different. And it totally bombed. It bombed
mm,
because it wasn't supposed to be on that type of platform. They didn't know what to do
yeah.
with it. It was not appreciated. They tried to make it fit their thing. And I think that's what we see with the Breakfast Club. I think the Breakfast Club is, first of all, it came from radio, right? And so there
Mm-hmm.
was a
Yeah,
radio audience, then it went to BT. I don't know that the ratings were great on BT either, but I do know Netflix, it just
yeah.
does
No,
not work.
they lost. They said from YouTube, they lost a lot of their audience off of YouTube because they can't be on YouTube
Hmm. Or
anymore.
they, right,
They
because we'll see what
yeah.
happens is, which is why I'm comfortable for us to stay here on YouTube, because what happened is were they were on radio, and then everybody started doing YouTube streaming while
Yeah,
they were doing their radio show, right? And then it went, so then when people get the visual there, and then it went to all right, well, let's put it on BT. But I think at that point, I don't think people were watching it on BT. I think that YouTube audience was still the strongest
yeah.
audience. But
Mm-hmm.
I now think when you give it over to Netflix, it's just, and I think that could be kind of like marking the end of the Breakfast Club's reign as we've known it.
I, you know,
I don't
I
think it's
don't
going
know.
to continue like
I don't know. I think the Breakfast Club could still be relevant. It just needs to be the time to switch over. I don't think Netflix did a well enough job with the rollout either, because they seem to be onboarding shows every couple of weeks or whatever, but I don't think they did a good job with the roll. They did a great job with the announcement, but they didn't do a good job with, the like they could have done it before. The rollout wasn't good. So I think that hurt the
Well,
Breakfast
yeah,
Club.
but I mean, think about it. You're not the same priority. You're not the same
Yeah, true.
priority
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Netflix has so much content, and I saw that Netflix is trying to get more and more influencers and podcasts and things like
Yeah,
that, but they are
yeah,
trying to make it fit their audience, and so they're not going to prioritize it in the same way that a BT would. Just that's
yeah,
a part
true.
of the problem with being swallowed into a bigger, a bigger platform that does not specialize in what you do. They just have its
Yeah.
overall general population now. And so, where do you fit in that this will be interesting. I think that streaming is still something that most television execs are trying to figure out. And so I think there's a
Yeah.
lot more
Hmm.
changes coming, but I do think that everything is going to get swallowed up in just a few Paramount, Netflix, everything is going to be in one place, which is going
Yeah.
to make it interesting, for,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
smaller independent projects. A lot of independent films we're seeing on BT Plus, but also that's why net platforms like Tubi are so huge right now, because they do have
Yeah.
a huge they have a huge fan base of urban content. So as opposed to trying to go to Paramount Plus, I would definitely try to go to Tubi, if you had a movie
Well,
or
well, I mean,
series.
sometimes that check looks really good. So you're like, you know what? I'll take that $200 million check, and then we'll figure it out later.
But I mean, but Tubi's cutting checks too, though. And if you
Oh,
take a
okay.
check for, I don't know, 200 million, but if say you take a check for $2 million to do Paramount, and you get a check for half a million to do Tubi, but on Tubi you are successful and stay, and on
Yeah.
Paramount you have one season and you're canceled, then you're
Yeah.
going to
No,
actually get
I'm
benefits to go with the smaller dollar in the long run.
I'm doing a Joe Budden deal. I'm gonna do my own thing, figure it out, build on that. He's making $20 million on his platform a year. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he
Because right
is.
now it's all about building community. That's what I want to do here with us, is build our community up, because that's where everything is going. I saw this a few years ago where they were talking about the reason why we haven't switched over to Web 3.0 is because Web 2.0 is what we're doing. This is Web 2.0. We're on somebody else's platform, which is
Right.
YouTube. Web 3.0, we'll have our own Lennox and Parker. The reprint will have our own platform that people come to, and we own our content. And that's where it's going to. So building your community in the future, or right now towards the future, is where everything is going.
But you gotta,
And
we
however
gotta,
that,
gotta build it
yeah,
and have enough of a caveat to where those people will follow
yeah,
you. Because
yeah,
think about being on a platform like YouTube, is that people probably find us through other shows, right? That they
yeah,
are connected to or that they like, and then YouTube says, hey, if you like this, you may like that. Or it's
yeah,
on you on your own platform. It's just like it's like having a brick and mortar, by itself. People got like I would much rather be a part of a plaza, because
yeah.
hey, traffic, what I mean,
Foot traffic.
YouTube
Yep.
gives you foot traffic. But if you're on your own platform, you got to have some dedicated. You got to be like at the level of like a
Yeah.
Tasha K, who I want to make sure that we know that we're going to have we are dropping an exclusive conversation that I did with Tasha K on tomorrow on the platform and here on YouTube, and on Lennox and Parker. So trust me, you guys definitely want to check that out.
Yeah.
We dropped a few clips, but I did talk to Tasha about her controversy with Cardi B. She was very candid about that, just about, if she has any regrets. We talked about just, her experience and blowing up, on as a blogger, and, with gossip being the thing that she's selling and how she feels about that. So I think it's a really powerful interview. We'll definitely talk about it a little bit more on Wednesday. Right now, I want to move to Pastor Jamal Bryant. Huge confusion at the end of last week and even over the weekend with Pastor Jamal Bryant apologizing for confusion surrounding his Target fast. Pastor Jamal Bryant is walking it back, and this time he's doing it publicly, humbly, and with credit, where it is long overdue. Just days after his announcement about ending the Target fast sent shockwaves through the boycott community, Bryant returned to his podcast to apologize, clarify, and step aside. So I, actually did a piece with Dennis Byron on Hip Hop Inquirer about this weekend.
Okay.
Interesting, very, very interesting, because I thought that there was a Target boycott, right? Target boycott. I thought everybody was in
I know. Me too.
in compliance with it. I thought the Black community was all on board. Jamal Bryant did seem to be the leader of that, just because he does have probably the biggest audience, and also he is very media savvy. He's very media savvy.
Very, very.
He was doing People magazine interview. It was an opportunity. He definitely hit the ground running. So late last week, Pastor Reverend Dr. Jamal Bryant came out and said that it was over, that he was that Target had done 97% of what they promised the public, right? What they promised our community. And so he was calling it off. Well, organizers of Nakima, and I have to pull up her last name, Nakima Levy Armstrong, who is the lead, actually the civil rights attorney there in Minnesota, where Target is headquartered. That gave me clarity as to why Target was the focal point, because I was like, why is Target the focal point as opposed to Walmart or Amazon? Because those companies also have equally egregious practices when it comes to quitting their DEI programs. And I did know that Target had actually some entrepreneurial programs that clients of mine have been a part of. So I was like, why is Target the focus? But then understanding that Target was on the ground there where George Floyd and all this political civil unrest has happened, has been in Minnesota. So Nakima came out and said, first of all, Jamal does not have the right to call off something that we are still very much connected to and moving forward with. And Jamal called it a Target fast. I'd never heard that terminology until now. They're trying to separate the fast from the boycott. Fast is a religious term. At least that's how I look at fasting as something that is a religious term. And so, y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to do
That's
this.
okay. That's okay. That's all right.
It is not working. So anyway, he put an end to the fast. Said the boycott was still on, and he apologized for confusing the public, right? Nakima went on Roland Martin and slammed Jamal Bryant. I mean, slammed him. She also included Tamika Mallory in that. She said that they basically tried to take over this movement and weren't connected to it. She specified that she basically said he was not genuine and made a lot of accusations about his integrity in that interview. Roland Martin did attempt to keep it objective, but Nakima felt very strongly about the fact that they had attempted to kind of hijack this movement. Now, my problem in this, so Jamal says the fast is over, but the boycott is still on, and he tried to go backtrack and say Black women were at the root of it and everything. But we all remember that really last year when this started, Jamal was the face of it, right? At least the public face, right? I didn't even realize that there were all these things working internally, right? So Tamika tries to stay good on both sides. And so she says the boycott is not over. They have not reached a agreement with Target that would suffice. And that but she also acknowledged that Jamal's and a lot of the pastors that he was in connection with had ended the fast. Now, the problem comes, ladies and gentlemen, where Jamal went on his podcast and gave a lot of statistics and praised Target for responding in with their money and with their dollars and committing to the community. He named that they had given some money to his alma mater, and that they had given over $10 million to HBCUs. And when I was listening to that, I said, well, was this money, the money that Jamal is talking about, did it come from the time of the boycott, or is this just overall? Because he listed 200 million, 10 million, like all these huge numbers. Well, come to find out, as I watched a Target response, that was what Target has been doing before the broadcast, all the numbers that Jamal listed. So it was misleading in thinking that Target had responded with all this financial contributions to the community during this time. That was not the case. They are still very much have not met the goal that that Tamika and well, actually Nakima, who started this set. And so This is unfortunate to me because of this.
Uh,
I
mhm.
think it's unfortunate because this tells other organizations that our community is not on the same page and they need not worry. If Walmart does not need to worry, Amazon does not need to worry because our community cannot come together in solidarity the way that the Jewish community comes together and says, hey, this is not acceptable across the board. And I'm not going to take a buyout. I'm not going to take a payout. We're all in solidarity. That's one of the biggest problems that we've had as a community. And it is unfortunate to me that you would have Jamal saying one thing, Nakima coming out and basically accusing him of being disingenuous, and then Tamika trying to keep it. It just looks messy on a very public platform. But that's the bigger picture is if I'm Walmart, I am relieved. If I'm Amazon, I am relieved because
Yeah.
the DEI programs are still not back in place, right? And I
Hmm.
know for
Hmm.
a fact, I think I shared this with you. I have clients that have programming that has been funded by some of these corporations, specifically Walmart. Those programs have been ended, right? That was
Hmm.
supporting
Hmm.
African American women in business. Those programs have come to an end. So we focused on Target and then fumbled the ball publicly with all these
Yeah.
different fighting egos, trying to be bigger than this and that, and I'm getting paid off over here, so I want to say this, and then I'm not that, and that just looks
Well,
crazy. It looks
I got a
crazy.
couple of questions. I got some questions. First of all, who made Jamal Bryant the face of the movement? First of all. Second of all, did he have all his facts in place? And did he get a check for doing this? You said he didn't, right? I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just asking questions. But what you said earlier, two things I want to address. One, we've seen the same thing with the Black Lives Matter movement after what's his name got killed. Mike Brown got killed in Ferguson, and when the Black Lives Matter movement started, we saw the different fractions of it. It got one person saying one thing, other person saying another thing, and it got messed up in the media. Why do we as a people always have to be so flashy, loud, and so all over the place? It shows that we don't have a community that's close knit and together. We should. When you have a Jewish community, Hispanic community, or even a white and the Asian communities, you don't hear anything from the top of the community organization, whoever that may be, whatever caucus or whatever group that they have in charge. They handle it. You don't see protests in the street for Asian communities that much. If you do, you know, white communities no, Hispanic communities not so much. You don't see, all these different issues. But when it comes to us, we have to have a person in front. We need a MLK. We need a Jamal Brown. We need somebody with a talking voice to spearhead something. It goes on social media. It goes viral. Merch is sold. Stuff is sold. It becomes more of a like the term woke becomes more of a cliche cultural talking point. And at the end of everything, there's been a year, nothing really gets done because information is not sent out properly. People are not together. He's calling it a fast. One person's calling it a boycott. And so we've seen these things, when MLK was alive and they did the march and they did the boycott, those things were done in the community for the community. It wasn't broadcasted on national news. It wasn't, it started out, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to have a town meeting with our leaders and we're going to pass it from church to church, small knit. Of course, social media wasn't around then, but they stood united. I haven't seen Jamal Bryant with none of the other people that we mentioned earlier. None of the young ladies, Nina Turner, Tamika Mallory, Dr. Levy Armstrong. We haven't seen him with those ladies. So I don't see how it's even a thing where he is a voice. If it was something that was real, seriously, it would have been a meeting It would have been, this is what we're gonna do. We stand in. You know how Trump gets on TV and he has all of the corporations, Target, Walmart, everybody behind him, and he's having a press conference. It would have been one of those deals. No, we saw Jamal Bryant get on his platform because he gets on his platform at church, and he does scholarships and he talks and he goes on podcasts and boom, boom, boom. He does his media spin, his media run, and this is what we get. And so now it makes us look bad because now, you know, these corporations don't care about us as much as we think they do.
Yeah.
We don't make up the bulk of their products. You know what I'm saying? And we need them more than they need us. Now, I don't want to make this a black or white or cultural thing, but what we're talking about and we're addressing, they've made it that. And so now it puts a target on our back, no pun intended. And our community, we don't recover from this because, like you said, Walmart could be like, you know what, you guys boycott all you want. We do it with all the fashion brands, and before you know it, oh, let's boycott Gucci, let's boycott this person, and as soon as they say 2 good words about us, we're back wearing Gucci again. We're back wearing this again. You know, like
They don't even have to say anything good about us. We just won't make that. They don't even have to say that. There's not solidarity within the community. And then if they also are aware that if I can pull this person out and do something for them, then they'll turn on the rest of their community. And I think this is just an example of that. This is unfortunate. But like I said, the biggest thing is you guys are fighting. Nakima is on Roland Martin dogging out Jamal. Jamal is, you know, pandering to try to backpedal. And it just basically shows that this is not. And I guess there was some amount of success with the boycott because there were a lot of people that did not go to Target and definitely were trying to support.
Yeah.
But when you have something like this and there's so much communication, now some people are saying it's over. Some people are saying it's not. Leaders speaking out, making a whole press conference saying it's over, go back to Target. And then somebody else is like, no, it's not. This is a crisis for the black community. Like, this is ridiculous.
You know what I know? It wasn't something that was sustainable when he came out and said that the head of Target stepped down, and that wasn't true. The person got moved from a CEO position into a board of directors position. So you leave being the president of Target and you move to being the chairman of Target. You have that's a step up, if you ask me. You didn't step down, you step up. So now you're at the top making the real choices and decisions. And you make us feel like, oh, he stepped down and we got him to step. No, you didn't do anything. You know, you didn't hurt Target the way we thought we were going to hurt Target. And you know, and so because of those reasons, because we're not even a strong enough community, people went back to Target. I mean, I went back to Target. I stopped for a minute because I wanted to be, you know, respectful and try to do this thing, whatever. And then I saw what was going on. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. In today's economy, it's hard because how are we not supporting Target, but then we buy Amazon?
Right.
And we're buying Walmart products. You know what I'm saying? And it's in today's economy, it's hard to not, you know, use these companies because this is what we've not get used to, but this is how the business, how it works. It's like right now I have Cox on my internet. If I don't want Cox, if I want to boycott Cox, guess what? I have no internet. I don't have an option. You know what I'm saying? Unless we go back to farming or bartering or black-owned businesses, which we hardly support.
Right.
You know, we don't support our own brands. You know, and we should be supporting our own brands more. So, you know, we just got to do better as a people. That's what we have to do.
That was very discouraging. That was very discouraging. This weekend was really, that's like I said, was very discouraging. I got on, Dennis asked me to come on Hip Hop Inquirer that morning, on Saturday morning, and seeing that interview with, and I'm not saying that, I definitely understand the feelings, but what has happened is it feels like a lot of egos got involved as opposed to the focus on the community, you know, and so that is a problem. And that is why, as we move on to the most concerning issues of the news today, this is a time that we need to be on the same page. You know, it's really sad that we're not. Speaking about the most concerning issue is this war with President Trump. The Iran war has entered its 18th day and is no longer just a military conflict. This has become a global economic emergency. The Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway through which roughly 20% of the world's oil passes, has been effectively closed since the war began. And now President Trump is going country to country asking for help while the world watches smoke rise over Tehran and Dubai's airport shuts down. Trump has urged China and U.S. allies to help address disruptions at the Strait of Hormuz, saying the U.S. has received some positive response after reaching out, but no country has yet committed to sending warships to the waterway. Trump warned NATO faces a very bad future if allies fail to assist, saying it is only appropriate that nations who benefit from the strait help protect it. This is
Crazy.
also a problem. This is a bigger problem. I mean, but it's also why I think our community needs to be on one accord. Like there's these much bigger issues that are happening that are going to affect us from an economic standpoint, which you guys know for community, that's the best way to level a community is to affect them economically. And unfortunately, whenever there's economic disparity, our communities are represented in the downfall a lot faster than others.
Yeah.
So the oil prices have climbed, reached the highest level since July 2022, with Brent crude topping 106 a barrel. Meanwhile, a senior Iranian official told CNN that Tehran is considering allowing some vessels through the strait, but only if oil transactions are settled in China. If oil goes to $200 a barrel, which is what has been projected by some sites, that is going to affect us in a horrible way. Oil is gas, and oil is not just for us getting back and forth to work, but we're talking about travel. We're talking about consumer goods on these trucks, and a lot of these. My husband is a truck driver. A lot of these trucking companies are suffering because they can't afford. The diesel is too expensive. They can't afford to make these trips. Not even talking about the fact that the tariffs placed on a lot of things stopped a lot of that anyway. So if you go to your local grocery store, you'll see there's a lot less merchandise than there was before. But this is a problem, and I also think that we are being told that we're just not being told the truth about the numbers and the severity of this war. And Trump saying that the war is over when he says it's over is extremely problematic for a number of reasons.
Yeah, it's not looking good at all. He's trying to get other nations involved, like China, to come and help him. I guess say that we need to open up that strait. But you started something, and now you want people to join. And nations are not trying to do that because people don't want to go to war. Because once you go to war, that people die, and people don't want their sons to die, especially after World War II. Yes, Tammy, war ain't cheap. That's how they make their money. That's how they make their money is by selling their stuff to war, and so selling equipment to these different countries. And so once these countries get involved in this, Russia and China get involved in this because some of their oil is sold to China. 30% of the oil goes to China from Iran. Once these nations get involved, then we have World War III, and then it doesn't end today, tomorrow. You can't go in and flashbang and then, we wouldn't. No, you can't do that. And America is not, unfortunately, not in a position for troops on the ground. We can't do it. We don't have the capability to go on the ground. And nobody wants to go to war. No person that I know of, nobody that I know of wants to go to war, or even put their kids or their loved ones, at harm's, in harm's way. And it's just not a good look. And so with the oil situation now, gas is really high right now. Right now, I heard on one other platform that gas was at $4 and some change in Atlanta.
Yeah, but we still can't get with LA. I mean, we're still not.
No, I mean, but LA, but you have to look at this. I always tell people look at the ratio, right? So right now, if I'm paying 550, 589 for gas here in LA or in California, and you're paying for something there, but I make more money here than you are, cost of living, it kind of is basically is the same thing. Because if you're making $10 there and I'm making $20 here, but you're paying $1,500 for rent and I'm paying $3,000 for rent, I'm saying it's kind of the same ratio as far as the price of gas. So it's high across the board everywhere you go.
It is.
You know, and it's only going to go up because, like you said, we're not talking about gas in our cars. We're talking about fuel to take the trucks to drive the food around, to heat for heating. Right now, we see in the Northeast they're going to go through another blizzard again. You know, air conditioning when it starts to get hot this summer, price of the oil is going to keep going up, and it's not going to come back down. It's not going to go back down to $3 anymore. It's going to stay where it's at. Because why would a company bring it back down? You know, so it just depends. But I really feel like it's going to get to, you know, $150 a barrel or whatever, you know. So we just got to buckle up and, you know, do what we can.
So we can.
Less driving. Oh, and also airfare prices going up too. The travel airfare prices are going to go up too.
I did see that. I did see that. I did see that, and I've seen that with the travel that we've done recently. But so that's an issue. I mean, I think this is we're just in a very strange area. Speaking of travel, travelers across the the United States are facing longer airport security lines and travel delays as hundreds of Transportation Security Administration workers quit during an ongoing partial government shutdown. The funding lapse for the Department of Homeland Security has left many TSA agents working without pay for weeks. Officials say more than 300 TSA agents have already resigned, and unscheduled absences among remaining workers have increased as employees struggle financially after missing paychecks. The idea that you would expect people to come to work without being paid, I'm not surprised that this is happening. This has happened last year. This is happening. This has happened again. Like, there's only so many times people are going to work without pay. Even if you give them a bonus, you know what that does. If you guys know, if you don't get your paycheck, it puts you behind in your bills. And then by the time you get a check, now you're so far behind. Now things have gone up. Your interest rate. I mean, you know, God forbid your credit has been affected. Like it is more to this than just showing up without pay. It affects people in numerous ways. And how are you going to get back and forth to work if you're not getting paid anyway? Like the transportation cost of you just paying to drive yourself back and forth to work, get lunch and all that is ridiculous. And so I'm not surprised that hundreds of TSA agents have quit. 300 agents have resigned. Some of them just—
That's crazy.
And
wow.
This is causing, which of course puts a stress on the ones that are still there by them being overworked, and then travelers are upset because the lines are longer and it's just more confusion. When we flew in a couple of weeks ago to Miami, TSA was not even an option. Like, you could not do TSA pre-check. And you know, for us going to Miami, that wasn't a big deal, but if you're flying internationally, or if you're flying if you're going someplace like LA from Atlanta, that is an issue. Like that's an issue.
Yeah,
that's an issue.
I mean, but the bigger issue to me is why would you? I mean, I know it's security, you know, but you lumped it in with the DHS funding. So this is all lumped into that. But you have ICE on the ground. You know, you have ICE on the ground that you have a budget for, where they're making millions of dollars for them, assigned to them. But the TSA workers who check people coming into this country and to the airports, you attach it to different funding, and so now everyone's screwed. And so it's just bad. I mean, it shows the morality of where America is right now. You know, you want to go bomb another country, but you can't provide your citizens with health care and all this other stuff. And you know, it's just a bad look. But
it is. So the question is, should essential workers like TSA agents be guaranteed pay during government shutdowns? And I would say absolutely. If you want to travel, then
Yeah.
people that work at the airport and these places that are necessity should not be without pay. And I do think that the first people that should be without pay during a government shutdown are the government, the people that acknowledge this, that are causing the shutdown. So Congress, no,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like that will inspire you to push past and come to an agreement. You don't
Yeah.
get paid. But when you get
Mm-hmm.
paid, but then you're at a standoff receiving your check while others are it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
We see it.
It's
We see it.
ridiculous. It's just speaking of more ridiculousness, I know we're a
Oh
little
my
over
goodness.
time, so we're gonna run through this. Jeffrey Epstein, one of the most respected security experts in the world, just sat down and said out loud what many people have suspected for years, that Jeffrey Epstein was not just a wealthy predator. He was a construct, an intelligence operation, and most people in power know it. Gavin DeBecker, a world-renowned security and violence prevention expert with over 50 years of experience, and who is widely considered a leading expert on anti-assassination strategies, joined Stephen Bartlett on the Diary of the CEO podcast to reveal how governments read your messages, why he believes Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence construct, and what he knows from decades inside the highest levels of the White House and CIA protection. On Epstein, DeBecker pointed to the 2008 plea deal as one of the most telling pieces of evidence, noting that the U.S. attorney at the time gave Epstein a deal that explicitly protected unnamed co-conspirators from prosecution. And when asked why, the U.S. attorney, who later became Secretary of Labor, said he was told Epstein belonged to intelligence. He eventually had to resign because of it. There's so much going on with this Epstein case, and when DeBecker connected it to Israel, that's when I started saying, wow, something is really going on here that's bigger than we realize. DeBecker believed Epstein was an intelligence asset for Israel, pointing to the document intelligence background of Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, whose funeral was a state-level affair attended by Israeli prime ministers and Mossad directors. The theory is that Epstein ran a sexual compromising operation, collecting blackmail material on powerful politicians, executives, scientists, and world leaders on behalf of a foreign government. DeBecker noted this view is not only his, but multiple intelligence adjacent sources have said the same thing for years. DeBecker also, included a warning for us everyday people that we need to know that no digital communication is truly private. Surveillance technology like Pegasus 3 can remotely access your phone cameras and microphones without you clicking anything, even a so-called no-click exploit. The Saudi government reportedly used this technology to hack Jeff Bezos' phone after the Washington Post covered journalist Jamal Khashoggi's murder. DeBecker says AI is now the ultimate tool for the government mass surveillance, and the public has no idea how deep it goes. I believe this 100%. As far as
100%.
the
100%.
way that we are being
Of
exploited,
course.
you know.
Our cameras are always on, even on our TVs. If you have a smart TV in your house, it's on. If it's plugged in, it's on. When you have your phone, your smartphone, it's always listening to you. It's always on. And now we have most homes. People have Alexa in it and Siri. And when you walk in someone's home and they go Alexa or Siri or Alexa, and Alexa, you train the AI. You train the AI by asking questions, by telling it what to do. It knows your voice, it knows your tone, it knows all that stuff. And what's going to happen in the future is voice is the next big wave. Voice is where it's at. Everything that we do from here on, moving forward, technology in your car, in your home, wherever you go, it's all going to be voice operated. They're trying to get rid of your phones in your hands. So what they're going to do is, this where 5G and 6G come in. What's supposed to happen is if, like in some countries, some cities in China, when you go outside, you basically will say, I need an Uber, and it'll show up because voice is activated and 6G is around you. They want to get you away from phones. So even Apple is switching their situation where they're getting you off of the phone and they're gonna have this smart device that you like a pin you pin on you, and it'll be able to hear your voice and talk to you and be with you all the time. It's technology is going that way, but here in America, yeah, the camera is always on. Yeah,
I
and all
think
listening
camera,
too.
and I use my Chat GPT quite a bit, and I'm
Oh yeah.
always aware when I'm using it. I'm compromising myself. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm already compromised. I'm already compromised.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
it's crazy.
It is, but it is something to know. It is definitely something to know because it's funny because my mom is a person that's like she doesn't want to be on, she doesn't want to be on online. She doesn't want to be on any of that. We think that's funny, and it's like, oh, that person's paranoid, but really
Yeah.
they're probably right. They're probably right.
Well, but a lot of the things that we talk about now is not for us. It's for our kids and our grandkids. Like if you have kids that's 20 something years old, it's not even for them. It's about the kids that are coming up. They're like 9 and 8 years old.
Yeah.
It's grooming that generation and getting them ready for the stuff. So we're gonna be the old people in the future talking about what we don't want to do, and they'll look at us like, what?
I
But
think we're
we
already
created.
that. I think
Yeah.
we're already there. I think we're already there. Well, like I said, I know we missed a lot. We gotta
Yeah.
move past that. I do want to do our Black Business of the Day because we don't ever want to
Let's
miss
do it.
that. Our Black Business of the Day is the Ivy Showroom in Atlanta. The Ivy Showroom is a high fashion rental destination for couture and design pieces, offering a private curated experience for clients, stylists, and celebrities to access exclusive garments for events, photo shoots, and film TV productions. It is known for its exclusive collection, including pieces from emerging and established designers, and provides services like in-house styling to create personalized looks, making high fashion accessible through a seamless rental process. Now, I don't like to do things that are solely for celebrity consumption, which is why I thought, celebrating the Ivy Showroom. If you are in Atlanta and it's your birthday, if you are celebrating a retirement or any type of special day and you just want to look like you look your best, you can go to the Ivy Showroom and they will put together a celebrity look for you, or a celebrity inspired type look for you, to where you can have a photo shoot, you can feel your best, and you can look like $1 million for probably a fourth of that just by renting out something and using it for a photo shoot. So the founder is Fiscani Akira, who actually is a very, very well-known, celebrated celebrity stylist. And she decided, instead of continuing to run across the country and the globe chasing celebrities with racks, she would create a place for them to be able to come, and also for the average person to be able to come. Fiscani, we celebrated her with our holiday issue, and she's an
Yeah.
amazing woman, very, very
Amazing.
successful. But one of the things that she advises is that people should stop saving these if you have a dress in your closet that is amazing, if you have a suit that you have more, stop saving it, put the clothes on,
Wear
feel
it.
good
Yep.
about yourself, experience that. And I'm definitely one that's like, oh, I love this, I don't want to wear it. No, wear it,
I know,
wear
me
it,
too. Yeah.
enjoy
Yeah.
it. Make sure that you take the time out to celebrate yourself. And so I would just encourage you to go to the Ivy Showroom. Just click on the link and see what you see if you're here in Atlanta. If you're not, you may want to visit if you have something big coming up, and get yourself something amazing to put on for a photo shoot or something to do special. But we also just want to say kudos to Fiscani. I believe you can also purchase certain things there, but I know that you can definitely rent things. They are located at 800 Miami Circle Northeast here in Atlanta, Georgia. And now, not only, you guys are struggling with this microphone, not only are we celebrating our Black history, our Black business, but we also want to leave you with an inspirational quote for the day, of course. Before we get out of here, it's important for us to always leave something positive. And so this is again through Snap Yourself into a New Reality. The quote is, breaking through to your amazing future begins the moment you are discontent with the things the way they are today becomes disruptive. In other words, if you, the thing that can get you to chasing your future is when you finally get enough and become unsatisfied with things the way they are today. when you are that unsatisfied that things become disruptive, then the breakthrough to your amazing future is beginning right then. So I think that is powerful. I think so many of us say we're unhappy, but obviously we aren't unhappy enough because we sit there. But the moment my grandmother used to say, when you get enough, you'll stop. The moment you realize I'm miserable, I cannot take this anymore.
I
I
like that.
want something better for my life. And that idea, that feeling is disruptive. That's when you can start working on your future. So if that's you today, today is the day. Say, I've had enough. I'm going to
Today,
make a
yeah.
change. And you can start on a better future for yourself. It's never too late. It is never, time has never passed you by. What is for you is out there for you. You just have to have the strength to go get it.
Yes, I love that quote. That was good. That was real good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope
Well,
everybody
Victor,
enjoyed their day today. Get outside. My last words for the day is get outside. Go outside. Call your friends, your loved ones. Say I love you. Say hello. Check in. Check in with your parents, with your kids, with your significant other, with your best friends. Just check in with people.
yeah.
Let them know you're alive and do something that makes you happy today.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
We do want to let you guys know we are excited about this week. Like I said, we have this Tasha K interview that's going to drop tomorrow on Lennox and Parker, and then also on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Lennox and Parker's YouTube channel, and also my personal YouTube channel. We are premiering our first State of the Black Woman address by Lennox and Parker. You can watch it here at 8 p.m. I'm going to be hosting some amazing women that are going to be talking about just where womanhood is today, where are Black women today, from an aging perspective, from a career perspective, from a relationship perspective, what is going on with Black women today. So we invite you to be here for the premiere, which again is 8 p.m. on Friday. Lennox and Parker's The Reprint presents the 2026 State of the Black Woman Address. I promise it's going to be really good. You're going to leave inspired, and probably with a little bit more insight about your sister. So please join us for that. Please make sure you go to the site and subscribe so that you can be the first to get this exclusive Tasha K interview. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. There's tea being dropped, being spilled all over. It's going to be good. And then we also have some politics coming up on Thursday. We have an interview with actress Melinda Williams. You guys may remember her from Soul Food. She played Bird, and just has played in a number of movies. But we are dropping an interview with her on Thursday, along with a very, very powerful story by Carmen Simmons. She is the founder of InStyle Atlanta. She has a show on Fox Soul. I have a very, very powerful interview with her that will drop on Friday as well. So make sure that you're tuned in, make sure you're subscribed, and you'll be the first to get all that content.
Yes, thank you guys for joining us. All those in the chat, Tammy Bowles and Edna, we thank you for rocking with us all day. We appreciate you guys so much, and we look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday. Remember at 9 a.m. Western, 12 noon Eastern. But stay tuned for tomorrow's interview with Tasha K. And then, of course, we'll be back Wednesday. We have a special political segment that we're going to be sharing with the politician on Wednesday. And then Friday, we'll be back with Jamal and Bottom Line Burke with sports. So we got a lot coming for you guys.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later. Have a good Monday.
Okay, bye-bye.